Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Doctor Who and Pinball. I just wanted to kind of address what I said yesterday. I'm not at all apologizing for what I said yesterday. I still think Toy Story 4 is a missed opportunity by not taking in all the movie themes into one kind of universal awesome machine. If I compare this to Stern's Godzilla, here's a theme that I had no interest in, and I love the game phenomenally. I think it's a wonderful game. Could care less about Godzilla. I'd rather have like a King Kong machine. But the great thing about opinions is that everyone has them. So if you have a different opinion than me, great. I honestly wish Jersey Jack the best because, like I said, they helped reignite the industry when nobody else would. And they already sold out of the CEs. I know this. I knew this was going to happen. Everybody did. This is another Halloween thing, and I mean, pretty much every time Jersey Jack comes out with a game, with the exception of like Dialed In, they immediately sell out, right? Because people know that the franchises are well loved, like The Hobbit and Wizard of Oz, all this stuff. I mean, they sell out. So this is not anything unique or shows the success of this, and we'll just have to see how it plays. I'm just saying my expectations were like this high for a Toy Story theme, especially with Pat Lawler doing it, and it was a swing and a miss for me. So hey, if you're good for a Toy Story 4, that's great. I just think they could have easily tapped into another market with having all the Toy Stories in it, especially since kids like me in the 90s grew up on this movie. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm done.
Doctor Who, television's longest running science fiction series, celebrates its 30th anniversary this November.
What I really wanted to talk about today is don't get scammed. I don't want you guys to get scammed. I've almost gotten scammed several times. And honestly, guys, there's a lot of scammers out there, especially today when they know that the interest in pinball machines is growing. Um, there is a forum, and I'm going to put this in the link as well, or in the description. There is a link to a article on Pinside that has a laundry list of all the different various websites that are fraudulent. And one of the biggest things to think about is if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. So just think about that. If this seems like too good of a deal, if it seems like it's shady, whatever, listen to your gut instincts and lean into that. Pinside's got a good information on that. Also, if you look into the numbers, if I've seen these on Craigslist so many times where people will show you like the mock-up of the machine, or they'll show you the overly designed images of the machine, just like stock photos. Oftentimes these scammers will use a series of numbers that they'll employ to kind of give it some legitimacy. If you do a Google search on that number, you'll most likely find that it's a scammer. Okay. So I'll tell a story about how I almost got scammed recently by looking at a Doctor Who pinball machine. I was really excited. I saw this on the guy was a member of the pinball group that I'm a part of, and I was like, okay, so that lends some credibility on Facebook. But he also posted it on Facebook in a Doctor Who Facebook group I'm a part of, and I was like, okay, well, he obviously has some street cred, he had tons of friends, all this stuff. You gotta be careful though, because these guys, like, they have bots for friends, honestly. So he seemed legit. He had a lot of recent pictures. It was all of one person. That's a big giveaway, right? If they have like several different photos of different people, right? He seemed fine. I messaged him on Facebook Messenger. He didn't really answer my questions. Looking back, I asked him, does the time expander work well? Because a lot of times this thing's called the finger chopper for a reason, and a lot of times people will take that little it basically attaches to the playfield glass. They'll bypass that, and it can chop people's fingers off. So yeah, Doctor Who, don't play around, dude. So I wanted to make sure that was okay. I was wondering if the Dalek moved or if he put it in a kit, and he kind of whitewashed it and was like, oh well, I just take good care of my game, so yeah, everything works. So at the time I'm thinking Doctor Who pinball machine, right? I'm not thinking like, okay, there's something wrong here. But his story seemed legit. He's like, I've had it for 5 years. I just want to get rid of it because my wife and my kids don't play it. They don't like the theme. And I'm like, okay, that adds up. Scammers would be like, hey, push you into a sale, right? Or they'd be like, oh, it's a great game, you should buy it, kind of thing. But he had kind of like a personal story to it. And so I'm like this close to pulling the trigger, right? I'm thinking, oh man, like this could be awesome. And it was a good price. And I'm thinking, okay, he said he was out in Wyoming. I'm like, okay, maybe this is a good price, and it's kind of in line with the pin site prices, although those can be, they're kind of pre-COVID now, so you kind of have to judge based on your budget and what you think is a good price. Um, they're kind of up in the air now. That's what I'm trying to say. But it seemed like a really good price, and I'm thinking, man, that's crazy. And then I said, hey, would you knock some off, because the cabinet was faded all get out, and that a lot of Doctor Who's are. A lot of times you have to redecal them. So he's like, yeah, how about knock off a couple $100? And I was like, okay, cool. And so he wanted to do Zelle, and so Zelle is a big red flag because it's basically bank to bank transaction. It's essentially a binding contract, right? It's like your bank contacts another bank and sends the money over. I mean, after that, you're hosed, right, for any kind of recourse if your money is stolen, basically. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Let's do PayPal. He's like, okay, well, let me do friends and family because I don't want to do a 1099. All that checks out. I understand all that, right? And so I'm just like thinking about it. I'm about to pull the trigger on it and I'm about to send the money. And I'm like, let me just do my due diligence, which is good, guys. Please do this up front. Don't learn from my mistake. Do not rush into buying a pinball machine. Do your due diligence, research it, make sure the person's legit, and especially if they're like shipping something for you. Like if you got it, like lay eyes on it. Like honestly, like I've gotten to the point now, unless you're dealing with like the pinball company or somebody big who's going to charge you an insane price anyways, if you want to go that route, great, because then they'll take care of everything for you. Just know that it does come at a cost. But like I was about to pull the trigger, and so I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to research it. I'm going to look up Doctor Who pinball machine for sale. And lo and behold, in like the first Google page search results, comes up that this has already been previously on eBay. And so I'm like, And I look at the pictures, and the pictures are the exact same pictures that were on eBay. And the guy was crafty. He actually had a video of that machine running. So that's another thing too. Like, don't be deceived by videos. If they can take a video for you and like show you with FaceTime, like this is legit, that's one thing. That's harder to do, honestly. That's like a next level scam right there. But if they like have a video of it running, don't be like all of a sudden like, oh, okay, well that means it's real. He pulled this video off of eBay. He pulled the pictures off of eBay. But what he did, each of these photos said eBay on the bottom. So what he did is he cropped it out. And so I'm like, well, maybe he just wouldn't get rid of it, right? And so I look, and the seller was in Kentucky. I'm like, okay, all these things don't line up. I have a bad feeling about this. And he's like pushing me for the sale. I said, nope. And I was like, hey, was this ever on eBay? And he's like, no, why? So I just completely ignored the conversation and left. So all that being said, don't get scammed, guys. It's with pinball and the amount of prices these machines are going for now, don't get scammed. Please don't get scammed. Oh, okay. I gotta show my cool Doctor Who different thing today. So I got this online. This is really neat. It's like a little flyer they would have shown for the Doctor Who exhibition when the sixth Doctor basically took over the role for the third Doctor for the play, I believe. No, wait. Sorry, this is the exhibition. Yeah, but this is pretty cool though. I mean, it's got some great artwork on it. I love the Cyberman there. Oh, those are like my favorite villains. Then you got Davros there. Looks like the Sontarans over here. Daleks. That's the can't remember the name of it, but that's a sixth Doctor specific enemy right there, and I think this guy is too. But yeah, super cool. I just Just love it. I love the art on it. I love that kind of hand drawn stuff. Um, so yeah, super fun. Don't get scammed. And if you want, go play Toy Story 4. Have fun.